All righty. Hello. Happy Sunday. It's me again. I'm back. Hello, and happy Sunday. Welcome to the Sunday session. I'm AC Brown, psychic channel, medium, spiritual guide, and teacher, and voice of truth. And hey, Kimmy. Hey, Kimmy. And I want to welcome you all to the Sunday session. We are talking about Venus in Aries and Jupiter in it's not retrograde anymore. So it's direct in Gemini, talking about what that means for you, all of those things, and just a little bit of this week was like crazy. Yeah, we had a rough week in the United States. Oh, it's only been a few days. Listen, we shall overcome. Happy Black History Month, even though Black history is every day for me. But happy Black History Month. Let's see, what's a good Black history fact? I know so many. We wouldn't have caller ID if it wasn't for a Black woman. So yeah, there you go. There's one Black history fact today. Anywho, so today we're talking about Venus in Aries and Jupiter is finally direct in Gemini. Praise God. Jupiter right now is transiting my 7th house, which is the house of relationships and all the things, partnerships. And it was a rough week. Okay. We're not doing this again. Come on. Why is it acting up? This is so wild. I think it's the plug that's acting up. It's the plug this time. It's not actually anything. I have the computer hooked up to the internet. It's the plug. I got to figure out this plug situation. I don't know why it's not like staying in, but anyway, we're not going to trip about that. Anyway, so we're talking about Venus in Aries, Jupiter direct. Find out where Aries is transiting in your charts because that's going to be really important. I don't know if you saw any pictures last night of Venus with the moon. It was conjunct and they were like right next to each other. A couple of people have pictures of it. It looked really amazing. But that bright star that was next to the crescent moon last night that a lot of people were showing, that was Venus. And then that was the moon. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So that looked really good. Anywho, put your questions in the comments if you have any questions, if you want to know how Jupiter direct is going to affect you going forward for a little while. Find out, look at your chart and see where see where Gemini is in your chart. Put that house in the comments if you want to know, and I'll let you know. So let's get the party started. So pretty much Venus in Aries. Venus in Aries is very fierce, very self-expressive, lots of desire. But Venus represents relationships, but it also represents value. It represents self-worth. So Venus governs love, self-worth, and how we express what we value. So right now, Venus is in Aries, and then everybody's talking about the shadow period because Venus is going to go retrograde. And some of the biggest things that you shouldn't do during Venus retrograde when that happens, because it's going to be retrograde for a while, I think all the way up until May. And Aries is in my 5th house, so I don't know if I'm going to be having fun. So some of the things that you should not do during Venus retrograde, so if you can get as much of this done before March, I would say, like if you're going to change your hair, if you're going to break up with your partner, if you're going to have some serious talks with your partner, if you're going to possibly move, if you're going to change anything about your appearance that's drastic, make any purchases that are drastic, try and do it in February. Actually, try and do it in the next 2 weeks, to be honest with you. That would be the best case scenario. There's some certain retrogrades I don't get like fear mongery about, because it really depends on your chart. Venus is one that I get a little like, let me chill out a little bit. Mercury, I don't get it. I don't get really bothered with that. Jupiter, I don't get bothered with. Saturn, because I have 4 retrograde planets that I was born under. So when I was born, Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus were retrograde. So retrogrades really don't trip me out. But Venus retrograde has always been kind of touch and go for me over the past few years. So that's my advice before Venus goes retrograde. Just really try and get anything that's regarding your self-worth, value, get those things kind of taken care of as soon as possible. But that doesn't mean like your world is going to fall apart or anything like that. You just have to be careful. So retrogrades are really about being careful and really dotting your I's, crossing your T's. But since it's in Venus, I will say that with Venus in Aries, it's going to be about boldness, being direct, being very unapologetic. There might be a couple of people, you might feel the urge, I would say, to have these bursts of anger. There might be a few crash outs in your vicinity, in your realm. You're definitely going to see during the Venus retrograde, you're going to see a lot of crash outs online. There's going to be a lot of discourse. That's probably going to be a lot for the rest of the year. But I feel like during the Venus retrograde is going to be even heavier. So just protect your peace, protect your mind, protect your body, protect your soul. That's really going to be the biggest thing. So when we think about some of the key themes of Venus in Aries is very independent. It's a desire to assert your needs and your boundaries. So it's going to be about boundaries, 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 boundaries. If you don't know what your boundaries are, if you're having trouble with your boundaries, now is the time to kind of get that together. Because Venus and Aries people that I know, and also this energy that we have, there's going to be a tendency probably to confront emotions head on, especially when it comes to feelings of anger and frustration. There's going to be an urge to like speak up and say something and speak up for yourself during this time, which is fine. I want you to do that. So for example, Venus in Aries might inspire you to finally like speak up about something that's been bothering you with a spouse, with a friend, with a coworker, with the conditions that you're in. I mean, it can even be like you put in, several different complaints in your homeowners like association. They didn't say anything, or at your apartment where you rent at, wherever it is, it could be something where you're going to speak up for yourself. So when it comes to anger, Venus, Aries gets a bad rap. Aries gets a bad rap, in my opinion, when it comes to the fire signs. Aries gets a bit. I always say that Sagittarius is who y'all want Aries to be, and that's not the case. Like a Sagittarius and Leo have the biggest crash outs. Are Sagittarius, that's what they call them, right? And Aries gets a bad rap, in my opinion. Aries gets a really bad rap when it comes to anger, when it comes to emotions. They get a bad rap. So no Aries slander, but Aries does relate to anger. So Aries is really about, I think when Aries gets angry, they have finally kind of, they're fed up in a way. Once they learn how to own their anger, own their emotions and not suppress them, that's when they speak up. And then what happens is that people get like very caught off guard because they're like, where'd that come from? Like, what the hell is going on? But so that's how I feel about Aries. So find out where Aries is in your chart and see where you might feel the urge to express your emotions, where you might feel the urge to release any shame, expressing the needs that you have regarding that. Aries are definitely more grounded. Yes, absolutely. Aries is definitely the more grounded fire placement, but everybody wants Aries to be what Sagittarius and Leos are. Because I don't know if I grew up, he might watch this. My cousin is a Leo. I grew up with a Leo. He was crashing out when we were like 5, 7, like for real, crashing out. He just had a crash out last year in July when we had a family. Yeah, he's a certified crash out. He's always been a certified crash out. That's what I learned about Leos crashing out. And then my dad is a Sagittarius. I have a lot of male friends who are Sagittarius, and their crash outs are different. It's more revengeful when they get their feelings hurt. But yeah. So, and I'm a Sagittarius rising, but I don't crash out. But Aries, they definitely are not the crash out kings and queens of the fire, fire signs. They're probably the most mildest groundedness people. Until you until they've reached their boiling point. So wherever, yes, so revengeful, Sagittarius, and I don't want to be on a Sagittarius hate train. I'm a Sagittarius. I have 3 placements in Sagittarius. Sagittarius men are revengeful and it's comical. And it's like, but you caused what you're emotional about. So that's confusing. Like you're the one who made the circumstances the way that they are, but now you're upset. Very victim blaming. Oh my God. Oh, they're such victims. And such victims. It's like, why did this, such victims. Anywho, that's another story for another day. Another story for another day. Oh gosh. Yes, exactly, Kimmy. Sagittarius women, I've never had that experience with Sagittarius women with the vengefulness. Sagittarius, so I know somebody who has the same birthday as my father and complete opposite. And not all Sagittarius men are like that. I think it depends on as you get older, because my grandfather, my dad's father, him and his father, their birthdays are 2 days apart. If you met my grandfather and then you met my dad, you'd be like, whose son is that? Like, especially like in the 80s and 90s, my grandfather is the sweetest little Bayesian man. We call him Poppy, that you'll ever meet. And he's just so sweet. But I don't know how he is in relationships because I don't know. But he was just always really sweet. And then my dad was my dad. So, and I don't even know why I've dated Sagittarius men growing up with a Sagittarius man. They're so unserious, and I don't even know why. But maybe because I'm like, oh, let's give this a whirl. Let's give it a improv, because Sagittarius rules my first house. So that's the sucky part. So I gotta figure it out. Sag men love kids. Yes, they do love children. Yeah, I gotta figure that out, because Sagittarius rules my first house. So just a FYI, since we're just shooting the shit, before I talk about Jupiter in in Gemini. But just FYI, so and this is for the women, regardless if you date men or women, but mostly, for women in general. Wherever your rising sign is, if you find your partner, whether it's a man or a woman, with the sun sign in your first house, you're always going to look good with them, or be the good looking one in the relationship, because their energy, their sun illuminates your first house. So it's just going to illuminate your style, your energy, just like bring out like a lot of the physical appearance of you. So that's the downfall side of being a Sagittarius rising. Is when I date Sagittarius men, I can show you pictures. I'm like, oh my God, like, look, chef's kiss. I mean, not saying that I look bad on the other days, but it's just like good looking couple energy, and it's because of the woman. So whatever your rising sign is, if you happen to date someone with that sun sign, you are going to glow. You're gonna glow like you've never had, until Sagittarius, until things happen. So it really depends. But that's just a little tidbit when it comes to synastry. If you date somebody who has the same sun sign as your rising sign, you're just gonna glow. It's a nice glow too. But yeah, that's the price that I have to pay, is that my rising sign is Sagittarius. Oh, that's you now, Kimmy. What's your rising sign again, Kimmy? Put it in the comments. Yeah, that's a little trick. So depending on your rising sign, I probably just have to figure out a better date for girl. You back with a Gemini child cheese. Sorry. Oh Lord. Listen, my 7th house is Gemini. I love Gemini men, but Gemini men they're unserious. They're unserious. Pisces men, extremely unserious. Speaking of Pisces men, I don't know if you guys are into basketball or anything like that. We're just gonna shoot the shit. This is probably what I really want to do anyway on Sundays, is talk about like current events and the astrology of it all. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes is a basketball player. So he is in a relationship right now with, her name is Anissa, her mom's Beverly Johnson. So she put Matt on blast. They've been together. She's had 2 babies by him. Matt used to be married to this girl named Gloria. She was on the show called Basketball Wives. He cheated on her. There was this big thing where Gloria, she's now married to Derek Fisher. Matt crashed out. Anyway, Matt is a Pisces man. Pisces men, unserious. I challenge anybody who is dating or married to a Pisces man, try and grab his phone. Just try. He'll probably break your arm. That phone has probably the most diabolical things in it. I promise you. He will probably break your arm if you try to grab his phone. So she got his phone in some way, shape, or form, and she found out he was talking to 8 women in this month alone. And then she put all of the 8 women in her stories and tagged them. And it was just like, girl, what were you thinking? He's a Pisces man. His birthday is the day before mine. So he's a Pisces. That was like a bad decision, like a huge bad decision for her. Kimmy said he's a Cancer rising with a Virgo moon. Oh, y'all have the same moon sign. That's nice. That's really nice. I like that. Virgo moons. I like Virgo. I'm a Taurus moon. I like Virgo moons. Oh, I love a Virgo moon. Woo! I love a Virgo. I like that. So y'all have the same moon sign. And okay, I like that. I like that for you, Kimmy. I like that for you. And your dad is a Pisces. I would hate to see a Pisces man phone. I will never date a Pisces man ever again. so unserious, so just not, they're just not there. So that's why I'm like, girl, what were you thinking? Dating Matt, like so unserious, just so like, what did you think was going to happen? But, everybody has to learn. How about Pisces sun and a Gemini, a Gemini sun and a Pisces moon? Are you asking that as far as relationship or just yourself in general? Because let me know which one it is. And Liz the Goat is a Virgo moon. I love Virgo moons. Virgo moons are really great. Virgo moons are great. The only thing about Virgo moons is that Virgo moons are very hard on themselves when it comes to like getting things done. As long as you guys are not hard on yourselves, you just have to find like a way to like get things done. But anyway, let's talk about Jupiter direct. Jupiter's finally direct in Gemini. Praise the Lord. So Jupiter direct in Gemini. So Jupiter is about expansion. It's about wisdom. It's about growth. It's about opportunity. So its energy in Gemini is focused on communication, curiosity, and understanding. So some of the key things of Jupiter in Gemini are the power of asking questions to get the right answers. And I'll give you a scenario. So I just had a meeting, a professional meeting that stressed me out so bad a few days ago. It wasn't a bad stress, it was just overwhelming, but it was worked out. And so it was really about asking the right questions so I could get the right answers, so things could go back on track. And it worked out fine because I have people advocating for me and people in my corner. But so that's what Jupiter is really going to be about. It's like using communication as a tool for growth and clarity. So Jupiter in Gemini might encourage you to ask, like, why am I really angry? And have conversations about how you're feeling, or like, what are we really doing in this relationship? Like, where are we going? Or do I really want to be at this job? Do I really want to continue doing this? So someone said, I'm a Virgo sun, Aquarius moon, and Sag rising. And I have always fallen in love with a Scorpio sun. Scorpio suns are not bad. So that means, so if you're Sag, well, here's the thing. Since you're a Sag rising, I'm a Sag rising. My nephew, he's my first cousin's son, but I call him my nephew. My nephew him and his sister are 2 days apart. They're Scorpio. So if you're a Sag rising, whole sign, Scorpio falls into your 12th house. When I tell you I love that kid, love him. We have the greatest conversations, but that is because I have done a lot of healing work. So if you have Scorpio in the 12th house and you date Scorpio men, women, if you haven't unpacked a lot of your issues and unpacked a lot of your like subconscious beliefs about yourself or some of that shadow stuff, the relationship is always going to be bad. That's just my any 12th house placement. If you date anybody with a 12th and whose sun is in your 12th house, if you haven't done healing work, if you haven't worked on yourself enough to change your beliefs, to change how you think, really step into that shadow, the relationship's not going to work out, because it's going to bring to light everything that you need to work on. Because that's what the 12th house is. The 12th house is the subconscious. It is the hidden. So if you date anyone whose sun falls into your 12th house, that is just what I believe, that it's going to be a lot of work, and you're going to be faced with a lot of, it's a big fucking mirror. Even with my relationship with my nephew, he'll sometimes say to me, he would like, Auntie, did you have to say it like that? Or maybe you should think about it this way. Like, so it's a mirror, whatever's in your 12th house. So just keep that in mind. So Aries in the 8th house. Oh God. Whew, you're going to don't curse nobody out, Liz the Goat. Don't curse anybody out during this Venus retrograde. And your Venus is in Capricorn in the 5th house, and Jupiter and Taurus in the 9th house. Those are nice placements, but don't curse anybody out. So the problem that you're probably going to have during Venus retrograde, Liz the Goat, with that 8th house placement, is you're going to have to figure out how you want people to talk to you and how you want to talk to people, and really getting clear about how you are being in these relationships with people and if it's beneficial to you, because 8th house is transformation, death, sex, all of those things. So for myself, I'm a Virgo sun. Oh, and Sagittarius, right? Your Sagittarius moon. So your Virgo sun is in the 10th house. So you need to just be out there doing your thing. Oh, I was saying they are double unserious men. Definitely don't want to come in. Yes, double unserious. Gemini, Pisces moon. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Pisces. I'm a Pisces sun, Venus, and Mars. When I tell you the last 2 Pisces moon men that I dated, same person, different font, and even different sun signs. Keep a Pisces sun, Pisces moon. If they have any Pisces or Cancer placements, I'm good. Leave me alone. I'm good. I can't and I won't. I can't and I won't. I need to see if you have Cancer placements or Pisces placements. I'm okay. I'm fine. The only way, let me see, would I do a Cancer placement? No, because it's going to fall in my 8th house. So definitely won't do a Cancer sun. I don't know. Yeah, probably not. It's not worth it for me. And then Pisces moon men, so unserious, so feminine. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it. So feminine. So like, yeah, just cowards, to be honest with you. The last 2 that cowards. But anywho, Kimmy said Cancer rising. I don't know. Probably, I don't think so. I don't. It depends. It depends on their other placements. They need, if he's a Cancer rising, no, I wouldn't do Cancer. No, I wouldn't do Cancer rising either. Cancer risings are my ops. Yeah, no, wouldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Nope. I'm good. I'm good on that. I am good on that. But put your questions in there, all of that stuff. Okay, so let's get back to Jupiter direct in Gemini. But listen, put it in the comments if you want a mix of teaching on Sundays and a mix of like astro, human design, kind of spiritual breakdowns of stuff, of topics. If you do, then we can do that on Sundays, because I'm going to be showing up every Sunday. So let me know. So anyway, back to Jupiter direct in Gemini. So Jupiter direct supports, like, it's going to start supporting your clarity and your expansion to your inner dialogue, helping you dig deeper into the root causes of anger and shame. It's also going to encourage a lot of curiosity, a lot of open-mindedness, making it easier for you kind of to understand your emotions without judgment. And so with Venus in Aries and Jupiter direct in Gemini, in this kind of intersection that we'll feel, especially this week and some of next week, Venus in Aries is going to give you like that fire to confront your emotions, while Jupiter in Gemini is going to give you the tools to explore and articulate them. So, talking about, what is my anger trying to tell me? How can I express my anger or my emotions in a way that is not self-sabotagey or anything like that? So yeah, I like that agenda. Okay, Kimmy, you like that agenda?